Hello everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk entertainment. It's never the best when you lose. Again. I want to say I want to take solace in a moral victory. I do. The defense played well. I am shocked by the way they shut down the Rams in certain regards. Of course, they gave up the one big mistake, the one big play that broke our backs as always. We also had a Wayne Gallman sighting for a big 26-yard run for the highlight of his career. That was the longest run of his career. It all boils down to Daniel Jones again. And Daniel Jones once again cost us this game. And he's now at his full 16-week season, but this team is going to ride or die with Daniel Jones, and right now we're dying with Daniel Jones. And I'm not trying to be, I'm not saying we're going to get rid of him. I'm not saying we draft Trevor Lawrence. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that he needs to accelerate his play because his play right now is not at the level where we need it to be for him to allow us to win games. We're blaming the running game all the time now, but you know what? Daniel Jones is part of the issue. Daniel Jones, even the announcers were saying that he has a tendency to lock on to his targets. And yes, I know the Giants lost. People don't need to text me. He has a tendency to lock on to his targets. And that's what he did this entire game. Now, he was sacked 5 times, 4 in the first half. The Rams defense played well. The offensive line came together better in the second half. We opened up some holes. We were able to move the ball a little bit. But I think it was more of also the Rams not being able to establish a tempo because we controlled the line of scrimmage on defense, which is what you would think you would need to do. I was so glad that we got an Austin Johnson sighting because I really wanted to see Austin get in there. I see that we switched more to a 4-man front, which is fantastic. It was an up and down game for Kyler Fackrell. He had a sack. He had 3 tackles for losses, but the dude still can't. Dude, he should only be out there on passing downs. Let's be honest. There have been plenty. He got burned on two big runs for first downs and a pass play. So we need to just keep him out there to rush the quarterback because that's all he can do, and that's why Green Bay got rid of him. Blake Martinez once again with 13 tackles. The dude flies all over the field. Dexter Lawrence had a good game. The defensive line dominated, and we played more of a line of Austin Johnson, Leonard Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Dexter Lawrence. And that's what we need to do. And that's what I've been saying all week. We need to get all these 4 guys on the field at the same time and keep them there. But the problem is, as always, it's Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had a fumble, which he recovered. He could have fumbled 2 more times. There was a couple times he got sacked. He actually let go of the ball, but he recovered, and they weren't counted as fumbles. He still has no blindside pocket awareness. Oh, my God. This dude is going to get killed. He's got to start sensing and feeling the rush. Because if he's not going to, him running all the time is not going to be the answer. Look at RG3, Robert Griffin Jr. He ran all the time, got hurt in the playoff game, was never the same again. He has got to learn to stay in the pocket and have the ability to look downfield and check off and check down to his running backs, which he did today. He checked down 4 times. Let's see, the running backs. He had 6 throws to his running backs, which is what he needs to do. He can't continuously lock onto his target and look downfield. He looks downfield and locks onto his targets constantly, and it drives you insane. And now he's just locking onto his primary receiver. That's even worse. And then he even on that last drive, he had that dangerous throw to Ingram in the middle of the field. He should never have thrown that pass. Where we were lucky then. We haven't scored a touchdown in 2 games in 8 quarters. I mean, it's time in some regards to start looking at the quarterback. Because I don't want to hear he does not have his full complement of receiver. He's got a weak offensive line. Because you know what? They said that about Eli Manning for years. And they all said, well, Eli Manning, he's a professional. He should be able to understand this. And he should be able to do this. No, Eli had the same issues. And we blasted Eli for that. So you know what? It is time to blast Daniel Jones for this. This was a winnable game because of the way our defense played. And we have to take our hats off to our defense. They got away from the amoeba shit. Finally, they kept Leonard Williams on the field on third down and allowed him to get penetration. They limited the Rams. Of course, we have the one big play that breaks our back, but they limited the Rams. We've had multiple opportunities to score and win this game. And it is a shame that we gave up a wonderful defensive. I mean, the defense played well. I mean, we gave up a wonderful defensive effort. And that's all we did. I mean, I mean, come on, man. We even had a takeaway. You know what? If Gerald Everett doesn't fumble that ball, I think we were going to lose like 28-9. We would have lost by more because they were driving again. But you know what? We had the big play. The defense was out there making the plays. The issue is we again have the back-breaking play on defense, and this one time it was on James Bradberry. And then as an offense, we just can't do anything. I mean, we can't do anything well. I mean, we had moments. We had moments in the run game. We had moments, we ran the ball. We didn't run the ball terribly. We actually outrushed the Rams. But you know what? Our leading running back cannot be our quarterback because you know what? He's not that type of quarterback, and he's going to get killed. And then we're not going to have a quarterback. We're going to have Colt McCoy. I mean, it's frustrating as a Giant fan because we lost this game for all the wrong reasons. We lost this game. At one point, Daniel Jones was negative 17 yards? He's got to learn to check down more. And he's got to learn not to try to force the ball into such tight windows. This is a regression for Daniel Jones. This is not a progression. This is a regression we're having right now. And it's steadily getting worse by each week. We have some defensive personnel to keep games close. We do. We really do. But the offense, which is led by Daniel Jones, needs to figure something out. And I honestly don't know what Jason Garrett can do because it's the decision-making ability right now of Daniel Jones that is hurting this team. And that's all there is to it. We're going to do a big retrospective on this on Monday. But this is turning into a big issue now with Daniel Jones. And we got to figure something out with this. We really do. And I don't know what to figure out, and I don't know what to do, but we can't keep kicking field goals. We can't keep getting 9 points a game and all of them being on field goals because we have gone now 8 quarters without scoring a touchdown. This is, like I said, I've watched this team back to the 70s. This is one of the worst offensive teams that I have seen since 1976. And that's saying a lot because I've seen some bad teams. I mean, I lived through the Jeff Rutledge games. I lived through the Kent Graham games, the Dave Brown games, the Craig Morton games, the Scott Bruner games. This is hitting that level, and I'm starting to be slightly concerned that Daniel Jones is not the quarterback of the future. And people are going to say, well, it's only 16 games. No, we're going in year 2 now. And I've warned this before. The Rams held the edge against Daniel Jones in the first half. They lost the edge on the second half because they were tired because they were on the field so much. But Daniel Jones has got to figure it out. He's got to stop locking onto his primary receivers. Even Mark Schlereth on the broadcast said he is locking into the primary receiver. Every time. He is locking into him. And he's not looking people off on certain plays. He is picking his primary receiver and locking into that guy, and that is a scary thing. We're going to do a better retrospect on Monday about this. We'll have it out, I don't know what time Monday, but it'll be out sometime Monday. And like I said, I had us predicted to go 1-4 and lose all these 4 games. So you know what? We're going to win next week. But again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you can subscribe, if you can ring that bell, if you know what that means, that'd be awesome.